George Washington Carver, A Life of Devotion, by Robin Nelson. Do you know how peanuts can help farmers? George Washington Carver did. George Washington Carver was a scientist. He was devoted to helping people with their farms. He spent his life teaching people how to take care of plants and soil. George loved nature. As a child, he walked through the woods collecting rocks and plants. He began to help neighbors and friends with sick plants. They gave him the nickname the Plant Doctor. George went to a school for African American children. At that time, white children and black children did not go to the same schools. Students learn about cotton at this school for black children. George was devoted to learning. In those days, not many African Americans went to college, but George did. In college, George studied plant and farm science. He learned how to make soil better for plants. After college, George taught other college students about plants and soil. He was the first black teacher at his college. One day, George received a letter from a man named Booker T. Washington. Booker started a college for African Americans. All the teachers and students at his college were African Americans. Booker wanted George to teach at his college. George agreed. Many farmers grew cotton near the college, but the cotton plants were taking nutrients out of the soil. The plants could not grow without these nutrients. George taught his students how to make the soil get better. George knew that growing peanuts could help the soil in the South. He said that for 1 year, farmers should plant peanuts instead of cotton. The peanuts would put nutrients back into the soil. Farmers could plant cotton the next year. Each year, farmers would switch plants. This is called crop rotation. But this caused another problem for farmers. What could they do with the peanuts they grew? George was devoted to helping the farmers with this problem. He began to study peanuts. George found more than 300 things that could be made with peanuts. He made paint, soap, medicine, paper, and glue from peanuts. George became famous for his work with farmers and peanuts. He gave speeches all over the United States about peanuts and farming. George Washington Carver was a great scientist. He devoted his life to science, plants, and farming. George helped farmers grow better crops.